Alrighty,
You
guys.
dirty.
I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Welcome to a very special episode where we read through r/CatholicDating. Today, I am joined by my buddy Pinesap. Pinesap, how you doing, man? It's been a
Dude,
while.
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing, Michael?
Pretty good. It's been a nice day off. Got a lot of reading done, and so I figured I might as well do a little bit more reading that's a lot less serious. So yeah, I mean, there's not really much going on with the stream aside from the fact that we're going to be reading through r/CatholicDating. I'm joined by the RIZZ master himself, Pinesap. So feel free to super chat all your dating questions and dating advice. Pinesap will give you the lowdown on how to have RIZZ, man, how to approach the ladies and make your move, right? And like I said in the super chat goal, every single super chat helps a chud get a banana bread baddie. Dude, did you see this one guy on Twitter? He was like, where are all like the banana bread baddies at?
No, I didn't see that. Where was that?
Like, he was just like, I guess, like black pilling. I think he was a Catholic. It seemed like, yeah, he was a Catholic guy. My girlfriend sent it to me, funny enough, and it was like this guy, like, yo, where are all the banana bread baddies? He was just like black pilling on the dating scene. I was like, dude, that's hilarious.
Dude, it's tough out there for a young man. I mean, you got plenty of like 6s and 5s to pick from, but like no women equality. It's tough. I don't know. It's tough for a young chud out there. So anyone holding it down, mad respect, but it's like it's tough. Also, dude, you're a fake cell now. We have to destroy you. We have to destroy you, actually.
Yeah.
Guys, for all the true cells, everyone knows I'm a true cell, okay? Everybody knows I'm the truest cell. We have to destroy Michael. I'm sorry.
Funny enough, my girl isn't watching the stream. At least that's what she texted me. So if I give some advice that I perhaps didn't practice, she can't expose me. So, hey, listen to what they say, not what they do. This is a very true lesson. No, I'm not speaking of anything bad, guys. I just, making some jokes. But
no,
thank you for the $5 super chat, Ignatius. Latina girlfriend, thoughts?
Nah, man. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's what Nick was saying in the super chats, I think, the other day. It's like all these white guys constantly talking about Latinas. It's like, we got to stop that, okay? That's low brow. Like, we got to go for something better. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Like, there's a lot of women out there that it's kind of like junk food. It's like, you think you want it, and then you realize you don't. You know what I mean? It's like you think you want that girl, or you think you want to date like this variety or like race of a girl, and then you actually do, and you're like, no, this is like not it. I need to go for a woman of quality.
So true. Yo, we love our white women. We love white women.
That's real.
Yo, remember, guys, like I said in the last stream, when you're finding the girl of the right age, you got to be dropping her off at prom and picking her up from her high school graduation. That's how you know you got the right one.
Dude, be careful. The A-logs are gonna clip this, and they're gonna be like, Michael pedophile ? Oh my goodness. Yeah. They're gonna be like, you sick chud. She was 17 years old, 364 days.
So true, so true. I mean, to be honest, I've kind of set up my reputation to where, like, I guess I'm taken more seriously, like in a scholastic-minded space. But it's not like I'm looking to getting invited to conferences or like collaborating with the Joe Heschmeyers or the Trent Horns of the world. Like, the only thing like I would sort of regret with kind of having this sort of persona, like for instance, like Kevin last weekend got to interview Father Joseph. He was a Jesuit who wrote a book on the Schola Romano. He's like done an in-depth study of Shaban, Franzlin, Perron, all those guys in the 19th century. Like that, an opportunity like that, like, don't get me wrong, like that's a great opportunity. And I would say like, that's like those are the kind of opportunities that I would say I would regret having this kind of, reputation online. But aside from that, like, I don't give a crap about conferences or getting clipped on Twitter. Like,
dude, well, it's so real because like the people that do that stuff are very fake. They're like very performative, and they're just not real. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know that like sometimes on our side of things, we may go a little hard in the pain, and maybe we don't always like say the best things or whatever, but it's like, I feel like being real and being authentically who you are is more important than doing this kind of like dress up stuff. Because a lot of these people too, it's like it's sort of like selling an image. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. You know, we're all a little performative online, but I think to the best of our ability, we try to be like who we really are, and we try to be who we are on camera versus off camera. And I find like a lot of these guys, it's like they'll talk about like charity one moment on like stream or their video or whatever, and then you go up to them in real life and they're like the most uncharitable guy in the entire world. You know what I mean? It's like we may like I might beef with someone on Twitter, but it's like if they like really needed me to like pray for them or whatever, like I would, right? And you know, I might have some words, but like that's just being real, right? Versus like someone like Trent Horn gives very much like I would almost say like seether energy. You know what I mean? Where if you've wronged him, he will never let that go. Like he'll never really forgive you or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
if you've like wronged me or whatever, I might get mad in the moment, but like I'll let it go. And like if we reconcile, it's like a real reconciliation. Like I'm not in the back of my mind like plotting your downfall or whatever. But I remember there was this like comment that someone left on one of Trent's videos referring to Nick, and it was like, "Hey Nick, you know, like or you know, hey Trent, I know you and Nick have like beefed in the past, but he was like praying for Laura when she got sick, which was a really like, in my mind, a very honorable thing to do considering their history." And he's
Yeah.
like,
Olive
"Oh
branch, right?
yeah, I'm gonna congratulate him for doing the bare minimum." And it's like, dude, why do you got to be like that? Honestly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like why do you have to be like that? Like it doesn't endear you towards anyone like coming around to your position. I just have never I've never liked sort of the like fake environment with these people. It's like, give me a guy who's like a real Catholic, but he listens to 3 6 Mafia, right? He listens to like, you know, XXX Tenacion or whatever. He listens to X, he listens to Ye, he listens to Drake. Like that matters more to me than these guys that are like, well, you see, Michael, what you said to that girl online was highly uncharitable. But you know, honey, did we Amazon same day delivery the sex swing? Is that coming in or is that coming in tomorrow? Like,
So true.
dude, it's like these people are freaks. You know what I mean? It's like they'll like moral fag you to death, but then it's like they're total freaks in IRL, and it's like I'm not down with that.
Yeah, no, and I just like would depends on like the kind of content I'm making. Like obviously something that's casual like this, right? Like yeah, I'm prone to make a lot more jokes, but like yeah, like typically in my videos, I keep it very serious. Like if I'm trying to make an argument that Augustine's view of concupiscence is in line with Trent, I'm not gonna make some like some dumb joke that I would make like on a stream right now. So I
It's
just think
real.
like depending on like the type of content I'm putting out. But yeah, like for my streams, I just like to chill and you know have fun and make jokes that I guess offend certain types of people.
Well, hey, dude, listen, I called up Joe Heschmeyer, called it the Catholic Answers team. You're actually banned from the premises of Franciscan University,
So true.
Steubenville. Well, and you're banned because, like, you made fun of a woman once, dude, which we all know is like the unforgivable sin. You can never do that.
I know, right? Oh, did you? You know, I thought you were referring specifically to. I made a joke against that Bree Solstad girl, and then
Oh, yes. When she said, because, like, I've had a good relationship with Brie, but, like, what is it with her calling, like, CT a modernist?
yeah,
That's just, like,
no,
messed up, bro. Like, that's not even real.
right. And I basically made something along the. I made a joke along the lines. I said she went from making money on social media from acquiring male attention to making money on social media from acquiring male attention. And then she like accused me of detraction. And I'm like, okay, do you even know what detraction is? Like it's revealing a private sin without just cause. I'm like, what private sin of yours have I revealed? And I was like, you have to have some self-awareness to know uh, your kind of account, like what kind of audience you're gathering. Like, come on, just have a little bit of self-awareness. And it's just like, okay, like it's just goy slop if you're just gonna throw you're a modernist around. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, at that point, it also cheapens too when real modernism occurs or like real religious liberalism occurs. Like, I mean, I oftentimes find that it's like a lot of these people have a very like unnuanced view of, you know, the magisterium or like statements that like popes make or whatever. Like, I remember there was this one account. I'm not accusing him of this. He was just posting a quote, but like there was this one account I saw. the other day that posted this quote that I'd never seen before from Blessed John Paul I about like church and state and error has no rights. And he was talking about how like he's like, I learned from like Cardinal Ottaviani that like error has no rights. And then like Dignitatis Humanae came along, and he's like, I studied the question, I realized we were wholly wrong. And a lot of people were in the comments saying like, oh, he admits there's like discontinuity and stuff like that. And I actually like did a deep dive yesterday when I was on the phone with Joe Enders, who might be watching this. And I was like trying to research the comment and stuff like that. And it like turned out to me that later evidence reveals that Blessed John Paul II, Blessed John Paul I didn't believe that, because he actually wrote an article in it was called like Geneve something. It was like an Italian magazine. It was republished, I believe, in another magazine or book called Humilitas, about an interaction that he actually had with like an early SSPX supporter. So this would have been like mid to late 70s, 77. And in that interaction, the supporter directly talks about the document Dignitatis Humanae and Religious Liberty, and the kind of discontinuity that Blessed John Paul I refers to is he actually refers to two very specific examples, which like to me goes to show how much of like a intelligent, like honestly like well-read guy he was. He's like, well, the council condemned the idea of like Charlemagne, like Blessed Charlemagne forcefully baptizing the Saxons, or like Bernard of Guy like coming down hard on like heretics in like southern France. But he's like, he then goes on to say, he's like, but in terms of an actual like doctrine, there was no discontinuity. And I think he directly refers to the council itself in quoting in that interaction. And according to like how the interaction ended up, the person that he was talking with was like no longer scandalized. So it's like one of those things where I think the internet has given people the opportunity to like learn a little bit to the point where they feel like they know enough, but not so much that they kind of complete the loop. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. And on the issue of like forced baptisms, this has been a long-standing problem in the church that's been addressed. Like if you look at Francisco de Vitoria's treatment on the Native Americans, he talks about this very extensively and how this is wrong.
100%. Well, and you also have to like men. I mean, one of my favorite examples pre-conciliar is like Bishop von Kettler's work on religious liberty, and like everything that he writes is what the council upheld. So it's a very like lazy treatment of the question of modernism or liberalism or any of these other things. It's like, again, enough information that you think you know everything, but not so much that like you make the right conclusion, if that makes sense.
And I think it's fairly present on both sides. I don't know if you saw, I had a back and forth with Pope Respector last week, and all I did was posted a quote from Shaban's dogmatic, like his position on papal heresy. And he's like just having this complete crash out. He's like, are you saying that we should be scrutinizing everything the Pope write coming out from the magisterium, checking for it to if it has heresy? I'm like, dude, I just posted a quote, man. And I'm like, I don't even take issue with guys who hold to St. Bellarmine's position on the issue of papal heresy, because by far since Vatican I, it's the dominant position. Like to my knowledge, Shaban and Cardinal Journet are the only authors I've seen. Shaban explicitly affirms it. Journet, he just explains, like he contrasts Cajetan's view with St. Robert Bellarmine, but he doesn't explicitly affirm either view. He just kind of condones Cajetan's view and just explains why it's not at odds with Vatican I.
100%.
So it's my thing, and I told Pope Respector, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, you're just crashing out over me just posting a quote. I actually think I know who you're referring to. He's a buddy of mine. He goes by Dissolution. I know some of his takes. I disagree with him on certain topics, of course, but he is a pretty smart guy. So.
Oh, he's a super smart guy, and I like a lot of what he does. I admittedly think, though, I got some beef now. Not with him, but a lot of those Discord guys. Because one of them has been like super, I'm just going to be blunt, like a total dick to Wagner. And he's like accusing him of being like a Judaizer and stuff like that. And the guy himself is a convert from Judaism. So I'm like, oh, we're stirring up the pot again. Okay. Not beating the allegations, right? And I think it kind of didn't endear me to that like little side, but I don't know. I'm kind of used to beefing with a lot of the Discord guys, to be honest, because like you'll say something and then it's like, here's how it goes on Telegram. Someone will call you a racial slur to your face and you're like best friends with the guy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're cool. If he needed you to like fly out to him tomorrow, you would be like down in a New York minute. Sorry, I realized my computer's not plugged in.
No, you're good, dude. No worries. Yeah, I mean, I sit in like VCs like till 2 a.m. a lot of nights with guys like Inquisitor and some of the other like well-read prots and other Roman Catholics who are kind of like in those Discord spaces. And like we just yeah, we make racial jokes to each other, make fun of each other for all kinds of stuff. It's just, we're always cool at the end of the day, even with, guys like Inquisitor who I have very significant disagreements with, of course.
Oh, absolutely. But I do notice sometimes, and it's not that it doesn't happen on Telegram. Like there's people who have like secret beefs or whatever, but like it does seem like Discord is kind of like predisposed to a lot more like womanly behavior where like people have like secret beefs with you that you didn't even like know about. And then you like get in an interaction with them and they're like, I actually totally hate you. And you're like, what? Like we've never like interacted before, bro. Like what's this all about?
Yeah. I think that just comes with having a bit of a public persona. I mean, you obviously are much well known in the space than I am, but yeah, it is kind of interesting when you like look back and reflect on like, oh wow, I actually have people who just take time out of their day to spend like 30 minutes watching a video of mine. You know what I mean? Even if it's only a couple thousand people, that is still kind of crazy to think about in the long run. But I know
it's very humbling.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I just want to read these super chats and then we'll finally, we got to have the RIZZ master actually give us some advice here.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Guys that idolize dating any race of women besides their own are either acting out of some fetish or they have some deep-seated uncomfort with their identity. True.
I would 100% agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, for myself, I would say, being that I'm half Filipino, half white, I wouldn't date a girl who wasn't either Asian or white.
Yeah, well, and if you're like mixed race itself, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because you kind of got your feet in both worlds and stuff like that. So I don't think that's like any kind of like, fetishism or anything like that. But like you get some like white guys that like unironically post the like conquistador memes and stuff like that. And it's like, dog, what are we doing? Like this is bad. We got to stop. Okay.
So true.
Misty Orthodox, lock in.
Yeah, yo, all the Michael atheist accounts, Michael Presbyterian accounts. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Momentum, greatly appreciated. So let's see what we got. Let's see if we have some serious Cole posts. Okay, let's see. Catholic event in LA. No. Okay. Appearance advice. Hi, I'm a 19-year-old female and need some advice. I've struggled with my appearance for a long time. I want to put myself out there and date, but I'm so anxious. I was wondering if people could comment and I could send a photo and let me know if it's in my head or not. Well, I don't want to put this lady's photo on the internet.
That's fair. We don't want to put her on blast.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see. Waiting well. Oh, this one seems to be cooked. All right. I've recently been ghosted by a person whom I thought liked me. He appeared to be quite interested and intentional at first, but ultimately, when I became upfront about giving such deep conversations a direction by sending him a message which goes, hey, I've been thinking lately, and I think I'd want to get to know you a bit better. If you are in the same space, that would be nice. He responded warmly, saying this was getting him butterflies and asked me why. I responded warmly too, saying I liked his questions and answers, and that subtlety is not my strongest suit. Then he said, I think you're just toying with me. Imagine my shock. I told him I was serious and even sent a voice note to reassure him because words can really do so much. Then I was ghosted without warning. We knew each other in person for 3 years and just recently reconnected, so this is quite disorienting, to be honest. I guess my profound disappointment stems from the fact that I've always been good at communicating and being upfront. If I like people, I tell them, but every time I do, they bolt, dismiss, or disappear. This guy's the fifth one. I am so lucky. Am I not? Ha ha. And now I just feel jaded about this whole love thing and realize I want to prioritize time with the Lord so I understand his love more. W for that. Any suggestions on what I need to do for my new life project? I want to fall in love with him who first loved me and see how he sees me. I still want marriage to be my vocation eventually, but because I feel really jaded about love now, it felt right to spend this time with him. I'd appreciate book recommendations, novena, or prayer recommendations too. P.S. Just started the Waiting Well study plan on Ascension app. So, what are your thoughts overall, Pinesap? What do you think? I mean, my takes, like, sure, like, I think it was wrong for the guy to ghost her. Overall, I think she's pointing herself in the right direction by focusing on one's, prayer life and social life. When you're like trying to find someone, I guess this is hard because this is also from a female perspective. I feel like from a female perspective, if you're decently attractive, you have the right Catholic values, I feel like if you just go to like enough like social events at your parish, you're going to find guys who are interested in you.
I would completely agree with that because I think in some ways, like, there's a lot of women that are very nervous, but I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of dudes that are probably like willing to go out with you and stuff like that. Like, you've got no shortage. For guys, it's like the opposite problem, right? Like, we're having to I I find with a lot of guys, we have to kind of think of like alternative plans sometimes, or like different ways of approaching the dating angle. Whereas girls, I mean, if you go to sorry, I saw something in chat that was kind of funny.
I'll answer it. I know which one you're referring to, but
If
I'll let you
you
finish and I'll answer it.
if you I mean, honestly, it's like if you just go to one of these parish events as as a girl, you're gonna have like guys go up to you and ask you out. And I've seen like a lot of guys or a lot of women be like, "Oh, but there's no good guys" or whatever. And I think that's a little bit of BS, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes that's more the woman choosing bad guys and then being disappointed with that choice and like blaming all men or saying like, "Oh, all the men in this sphere suck." I think I would also say on top of that too, and this is something that me and my buddies were complaining about with like dating conservative women versus progressive women. Like, a lot of progressive women, yeah, they're pretty cooked, but like the one thing is like they don't expect you to have like a six-figure job right off the bat and have like everything figured out, your entire like 10-year plan. Some of these girls, it's like you're having to give like a resume. You know what I mean? I'm literally having to like go up to a girl and give like a resume of the next 10 years. And it's like, bro, I don't even know what's gonna happen in the next 10 days. Like, can we just take this like one day at a time and grow together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely would agree with that. I just think in general, I guess if we're talking from the guy perspective, like I feel like I remember I was watching a video from a priest and he was like giving this like little advice. Like if you see her at like a daily mass on like a Monday, or if you see her in line at like a weekly confession, like chances are like if obviously don't like ask her out in a confession line, but I'm saying like that girl is going to have like the correct kind of Catholic values. So I would agree with him on that end. And then part of it too, I think with a lot of girls, like, yeah, like they kind of just expect the guy to have everything figured out, which is it's just not going to happen. I think does the guy have some sort of drive? Obviously, first and foremost for our Lord and his Holy Catholic Church, but also, for someone who has a drive to, do what's necessary to take care of your family. I think that's more than enough. Obviously, there's some physical attraction and, chemistry between the two is necessary as well. Got to use at least a little bit of RIZZ, right? And yeah, I think I think that's more than enough. I think a lot of like women are like paranoid, like, oh yeah, if he doesn't make $150,000 a year, like we're cooked. Like, no, like, are you going to be able to like travel around the world and stuff? Probably not. But if he gets that job that's making $60,000-$70,000 and you know what to do with managing your money, it works out just fine.
You'll be fine at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think like I don't shame anyone for not being able to uh be the sole provider of a household. I mean, TBH, like there might even be a situation where your wife might have to have like a lower level job, not like a work husband, like girl boss kind of thing, but like she works at like the library or like a local shop in town. I don't see that really as a problem so long as the kids are being taken care of and it doesn't take away from their formation and, the overall family. But I mean, between you guys, it's like you should be able to like scrape enough together to like live a relatively like good and comfortable life. Yeah, you're not maybe going to be like traveling the world all the time, but I mean, these are the sacrifices we make. It's like, do you want to be like 40 and unmarried and like well traveled, well seasoned, or it's like, do you want to have like a good family that like really cares about you, loves you?
Yeah, that's so true. And like, for instance, like I guess speaking on my own situation, the girl who I'm dating, I mean, she's working in college right now, and the job she would get would be remote. So like, I think something like that is, ideal if, one cannot have, provide for their family off of a single income, maybe find a girl who who has a job that'll just be remote and at home, best of both worlds in that sort of sense.
That's super good, honestly. And I'm not saying like dual income household to be like some crypto feminist or whatever. I just mean that as like if you can do it where like you're the sole provider, totally valid and awesome and probably even ideal. But like I'm not also going to shame anyone for like having to have a dual income household. I just think there's a difference between like does she have the work husband and is like she, basically spending way too much time with her male coworkers, or is she like working at a place that's kind of like appropriate for a woman to work? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, you can find a way to make her a housewife and have her work. Remote job. Don't allow her to leave the house.
It's
So,
real, dude.
yeah,
It's
so true.
real.
Yeah. Oh, we got Cameron Riker in the chat. Hey, Cameron, how you doing? I'm sorry for everyone who's still dating. I already took the best woman in the world off the market. Hey, shout out to Cameron.
W.
WW. Oh, Joe Enders is also in the chat. Did someone say Joe Enders? Yo, it's my bro,
You
Pinesap.
did, buddy.
Oh, did somebody? Okay, do we answer the? Oh man, Cameron, I almost feel bad that if I answer this question with you in chat. You know what? I can't find the question. It wasn't meant to be answered. Wasians for the Wang Ha. Yes or no? So true. Yes, I am a Wasian.
Real.
So yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's like Asian people and white people, we just come together and coalesce as like a giant, like one consciousness. We're just
So
building
true.
up the world, bro.
So true. But thank you for the super chat, boss. All right, let's see what else we can find. All righty.
Is that superficial qualities one kind of good?
Yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay, so obviously, opinions on caring about superficial qualities when dating. So obviously the most important thing to look for when trying to find a spouse is that they share your beliefs in Catholic faith. I struggle with feeling guilty looking beyond that. Is it wrong to want a guy who shares my love for sports, for example, or if I want a guy with a stable and close family, things like that? I know they aren't the most important, but am I being too picky? Or is it important in its own way to look beyond just the Catholicism? Like, yeah, obviously you should find somebody who shares a similar interest than you. There's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, just have them properly ordered.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like your faith is the most important thing. Like that should be prime in place. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to date a girl who like that's the only thing we share. You know what I mean? Like that's super boring. I've met like a ton of Catholic women, and I mean, I kind of sound like such a jerk during this stream about like I've met a ton of Catholic women that are boring or whatever. But it's like you do meet a lot of Catholic women that they're very nice and they'll probably like make a good wife for somebody, but it's like they don't really have a whole lot going on. Like you ask them like what's their favorite movie that they've watched, and it's not something that's like kind of interesting. It's like, oh, X number of Disney princess movies, or you ask what their favorite like music is, and it's like show tunes or something like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like you just need something more than just the baseline of being Catholic. It's like at one point in our society, that was the default. And I know things are really bad. So people kind of treat it like an extraordinary quality, but you need a lot more to make a relationship and a marriage work.
Yeah, of course. Like some sort of chemistry, some sort of physical attraction. These are all definitely secondary qualities to look for. And as long as they're properly ordered, there's nothing wrong with expecting some of those qualities. Now, obviously, like, do you need to have absolutely everything in common? Like, of course, like some of my hobbies and stuff being sort of, I guess, masculine hobbies, I would find it weird if my girlfriend shared all of those hobbies. Like, I would prefer a woman who's actually feminine, right? So, you know.
It's very true. And I think in some ways, like if you do have a couple different qualities or what have you, it actually does kind of make it a little bit more endearing. Because, I almost want a girl in my life who it's like she introduces me to new things or like new cool ideas in terms of like activities to do or songs to listen to or anything along those lines, rather than just being like a carbon copy of all my interests.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Let's see. What else do we got here? All right. All right. We're going to need the RIZZ Master Pinesap to help bro out. I just have a feeling.
Worth a follow-up
Alrighty.
to your message.
Worth a follow-up to her message. A couple of years ago, I was online dating on Catholic Match and came across a woman's profile who I seemed to have exceptionally a lot in common with. I messaged her and we had lengthy pages of messages of going back and forth, exchanging contact information. And everything seemed to be going well until I got hit with this message from her. Thank you. I have very much enjoyed getting to chat with you these last few weeks. I think we have a lot in common and have had some exceptionally great conversation. I have also been getting to know someone else, and I do not want things to get weird. So to be fair to everyone, I think I should take a step back to see if that other conversation goes anywhere. I was disappointed, but respect her wish. After that happened, though, I pretty much immediately found my ex-girlfriend, who I dated for a year and a half, plus had some time to heal. So I never followed up with her. I'm looking at jumping into the dating scene again and would like your opinion on if this is worth following up on still. I checked her socials and there's no last name change or obvious boyfriend/husband in the picture. I'm wondering if it'd be too weird and she might not remember me, or maybe this is just a soft rejection that I've had previously with women akin to, I'm not looking to date someone right now. Plus, there's the fact that she sort of did make me the backup plan, just looking for others' opinions before I do something stupid. Okay, so to my understanding of the story, he got back with the ex-girlfriend and then now he's not with the ex-girlfriend. I would say my take on this is I think like if this was someone you knew in real life and you just happened to still like be around in their circle, albeit like you were distant friends, I think that would be fine. I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of strange to like go out of your way to reach out like through social media. That's my take.
I would agree. I mean, the original message does sound like a soft rejection, and I'm a very firm believer in you don't send a second text. I mean, there was this one girl that I feel like I had like a lot of weird interactions in college, but I remember one time I was in like the dining hall at DU and it almost looks like a giant spaceship if you're like looking at it from the outside. And there was this like girl that like just like came up to me in the hamburger line. Like I was just waiting for a burger. And she started to like talk to me about like I think she like commented something about my shirt. And I actually was kind of incel mode. I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, oh, that's cool. And then like I sat down and she like came over to me. She's like, can I sit down with you? And we were like talking back and forth. So I like got her number and I kind of did that like wait a day rule and texted her, but she didn't text back. So I didn't even send a follow up. She might have missed it or whatever, but it's like I don't think that you should be ever chasing a woman. I really do believe that women should be chasing you in a certain way. It doesn't mean that you're not assertive and you like don't go up to maybe a girl that you like and say that you like her, but I really am against this sort of, I mean, it's like that gif we see online, right? The gesture like dancing in front of the throne. The moment you do that, you lose, even if you get the girl, because for the rest of your relationship, you're going to be a jester. For the rest of your life, you're going to be a jester. And if a girl likes you enough that she like kind of pursued you a little bit, or she showed enough interest that like it kind of affirmed your pursuit of her, then that's when you got to go with that kind of relationship.
I would agree. I concur. Alrighty, let's see. Oh yeah, we found one. We found one, boys. I'm
gonna be honest. Can we do a TLDR on this? Because this is like a long ass wall of text, bro. Like I'm not like happy for you, sad for you, or oh man, that sucks. But like this is like, dude, this is why I hate Reddit. It's like people literally just write a novel, and it's like a question that could be asked in like
yeah, this
3
is
sentences.
Yeah, so TLDR, guys, is basically 19-year-old dating a 29-year-old. What is the verdict? I mean, gosh, man, you're only gonna be able to have like 5, 6 kids, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that,
Oh
bro.
wait, she's female. The
Yeah, the
female is like
guy
the
is
older one.
19, the girl is 29.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna be honest. You got to cut that off. Like, I'm not even trying to be a jerk. I'm sure she's a really nice girl, but like, no, don't do that. Do not do that. Honestly, like, because at that point, like when women sometimes get that old, I'm not trying to be a dick when I say this, but like they do sometimes become a little desperate. And so like any guy that shows them interest, especially like a young buck, is gonna be she hot.
So true. Yo, yo.
Someone said in chat, mommy fetish went too
Mommy
far. Yeah,
fetish
that's
went
pretty
too
true.
far.
Um,
Oh, man.
like I I don't know, man. It's like one of those things where I think someone said in chat, bro wants to date a pedophile. Okay, Mike, I'm gonna be honest, you are cooking, but we're thinking of marriage here, not not what we do on Tinder. Okay, like I get it, but like we gotta focus, brothers. We gotta focus. Okay,
Yo, we're both getting clipped, bro. It's all good, dude. It's all
it's all
good.
good. I mean,
Yo,
it's like I said, there's a lot of women that like you see and you're like, it's like it's like that box of Cheez-Its eyeing me up in the grocery aisle. But it's like you cannot be marrying that girl, my dog. You cannot be marrying that girl. You know what I mean?
yeah, don't be that guy. I was that guy. We're not gonna go into that, but you know. Yo, for
Michael
those,
Catholic, lock in.
yo, so true. All right.
Okay, George in chat, bro. He's kind of cooking with this question.
Can I date a Catholic tomboy? Uh, I would
Yes,
say you'd
and
say
I think
yes.
he should.
All right.
I like
Give me the
Mean
lay
Girls.
down.
I like Mean Girls. I like girls that like not are like overbearing like feminists because like that's what like a lot of conservative women are. They're like overbearing. I like girls that bully you. I like girls that like kind of like fight back a little bit, but not like disobey you, just like, they kind of egg you on a little bit. Like it's all about the hunt. It's all about the challenge. You know what I mean? I don't want none of these like shy, reserved girls. It's like I want a girl who's going to like talk back to me honestly. That's more exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess tomboy, I guess I had more in mind of just like how the way she dressed. Because usually when you talk about a tomboy, like, I'm sorry, I want a girl that dresses feminine. You know what I mean? I don't mind if she has
I
like
see
some, like,
that.
I guess, quote unquote, like male hobbies, but I definitely want someone who has that feminine character traits and it's visible when
But what
we're
about those
spending
girls
time
that are
together.
like at the skate park that like wear the like long baggy jeans and stuff like that? You're telling me that's not a little sweet, little
I
savory?
suppose. I don't know.
See, okay, there.
I suppose.
I read, Your Honor. This is like Ace Attorney right now. Your Honor, objection. I rest my case.
Yo,
That's
said
see what I
contra.
mean. Like that's kind of because like nobody wants like a girl who's like Butch Dyke, right? But like you do want a girl who's like a little bit on like the edgier side. You know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah. We got to get our banana bread baddie has to also be a goth baddie. So
It's real. Actually, that's another hot take I've been cooking on, bro. Goth women, that's like mid. That's like down here. Crunchy women are where it's at. Like hippie girls, that's a whole
so
different
how would
vibe,
you
bro.
distinguish between um goth and hippie? Just like what if she just like wears black and wears like a choker? That's goth.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much goth. Like hippie chicks are more like I don't know. They always wear like those like long dresses and the kind of like tops that are like tie dye or whatever, and they're you know shopping at like Sprouts or I don't know if y'all have Sprouts. That's like our natural grocery store, but like they're shopping at Sprouts or they're like shopping at Whole Foods or whatever. Like that's just kind of like the vibe we should go for. And I've actually found in my experience, those women are like very interested in Catholicism. I don't know what it is, but it's like they can be super liberal, right? Like hands off my ovaries. And it's like if you're just like a chud, suddenly they like fold like a deck of cards. I don't know why.
So over. Yo, unwashed women is where it's at.
I'm saying yes, yes, unironically. Okay, if she has underarm hair, you're in there, bro. You're in there.
Yo, nah, I can't. I
Yes.
can't endorse. I can't endorse.
Dude, I'm
this,
sorry.
guys.
I gotta be freak for a moment. That's elite ball knowledge right there. Mike knows what I'm talking about, bro.
No, I don't, guys. I don't know. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Eusebius, tomboys are the product of Jewish mind control. I mean, I'm
That's
wearing
wrong.
the Epstein quarter zip, guys, so I might say some things that I normally don't say. You know, somebody the last stream I wore this, they were saying like the Epstein quarter zip is like the Green Goblin mask for Willem Dafoe. Like it like speaks to you when you wear it. You know, you
It
got to
does
just faith in
actually.
certain things.
You can like feel the power emanating off of it. You know what I mean?
So true. Thank you for the $5 super chat. The commentary on the Reddit posts are as cold as the Reddit posts.
Oh,
this
definitely.
is true. I mean, yeah, Reddit's just is a breeding place for Cole. Alrighty. Let's see what else we got.
I think we've also created a civil war in the chat.
Hey, I mean, those are the best
Listen.
live chats, dude. You got just random arguments and people just saying crazy, asking crazy questions. That's where it's at.
Dude, well, and everyone knows what side they're on. It's like, do you want boring trad girl who's going to be talking about Disney princess movies, or do you want interesting crunchy girl who's going to have like the best music taste in the entire world? Choose your path, Western man, right? Choose your path. Which choice?
Hey, the man has a point. I just don't know about the arm hair, the armpit hair, bro.
I mean, like, look, I'd make her shave it, but it's like, it's kind of the starting point. You know what I mean? It's like our grandparents' equivalent of seeing a flat tire. Like a girl gets a flat tire and it's like, I know how to change that tire. It's like, you see the underarm hair, you're like, that's a project to work on.
Hey, I feel you. Let's see. All right. So the post here is, how over someone should you be before restarting with someone else? From your experience or the experience of those you know, should a guy be completely indifferent towards an ex before asking someone else out? Or is it okay to still feel longing for your last girlfriend while pursuing another possibility? Also, what does it mean to you to be over someone? Thanks. I mean, like, yeah, obviously, if you still have feelings for your ex, like, you shouldn't be going out with other women. I feel like that's pretty obvious. I don't know. What does it mean to be over someone? I would say you're not constantly thinking about them. You have pictures of them deleted out of your camera roll. At the very least, you have them unfollowed on social media.
Well, and honestly, I mean, I get heartbreaks hard and all that. I'm never going to fault anyone for, being sort of in their feels about it for a bit. But I'm going to be honest, I don't get when guys get super about a girl who like never gave a crap about them. I just don't get it. It's like if there is a girl that does not care about you, does not care about the time of day or what you've got going on in your life, she would not care whether you're alive or dead. Why are you lamenting over her? Just from like a logical perspective, because it's like I would be heartbroken if like I was dating a girl and she like, goodness forbid, but like she died or whatever. And it's like, that's something that could have turned into something, right? Like that is truly like the one that got away, or like there were extenuating circumstances that made you guys break up, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, if a girl like doesn't give a damn about you, you should not even be thinking about her. You shouldn't be giving her the time of day, bro. Like you need to move on at that point.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just like, don't get me wrong, like a lot of my hobbies are very like indoorsy. Like today, aside from prayer, I played Lies of P and I've just been reading. But if I was like going through like a heartbreak, I would try to do activities that take me outside of the house, right? Where I'm not just like scrolling through social media and like blackpilling, right? Like I'm not going to be sitting up waiting for the new X-Men episode, right? Like I would get some friends, go bowling, go golfing, or just like hang out with some friends at the park or something. Like do something to get yourself outside of the house. Don't be just like watching what's your favorite show on Netflix and just doom scrolling on social media. So I do think part of your just day-to-day environment, especially on like your days off from work, is very important when you're going through that kind of stuff.
I
Okay.
completely agree.
Yeah, I hope this question is a bit of a joke. I hope it's a joke. Is it morally unprofitable to return to a girl who went through a harlot era since you dated her? Like, no,
Yeah.
bro.
It's dude, like don't do that. You know what I
No.
mean? I really think people need to like think more in like an equally yoked way, because that's what's created the disparity amongst men and women. It's like if you're some guy who's like a virgin or you've held it down, I would go so far as to say do not be dating any girl who's not a virgin. You know what I mean? Like that's just unfair to you. That's unkind to you. You know, if you're a guy who, sadly has, fooled around a little bit more, then it gets a little bit more dicey. And I think you have to kind of judge it based on like, where are you at and where is she at? But you cannot be like minimizing yourself, right? You cannot be downplaying yourself when you put in the work to like actually make yourself better just to date this girl. It's unfair to you and it's unkind to you.
Yeah, I would say, yo, wait, but we aren't indulgence maxing here. You know the indulgence from Innocent the Third?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
About this?
if you want to go that angle, then okay, maybe that's a little different. But
Yeah.
unironically, I don't think that you should date a girl who had a hoe phase if you're a guy who never did anything like that.
Yeah, just so you guys know, the indulgence is not actually in effect. Since, obviously when you have like I forget which document it's called from Paul VI when he basically made null and void all of the past exercises for indulgences or practices for indulgences. Okay. Yeah, of course. Going to mass is a good. Well, I mean, that's not really, I guess, the date part, but like, yeah, go to mass together on a Sunday, grab coffee, grab like
Yeah, that'd be
breakfast
super
or
cool.
brunch. That's really good.
You could use it as like a precedent for going out on a date. Like you go to mass first and then you get coffee or breakfast after. I think that's actually pretty goated.
Yeah, that's an awesome. Okay, these are very awfully specific questions. Is it sinful to not confess to a girl that I cheated on her when we were dating? Okay, so I would say talk to your spiritual director. And I would say in the vast majority of situations, yes, you need to be upfront about it. But yes, that is a question for a spiritual director and a competent confessor. And I'm sure he's probably not asking this like as a personal question, but this is like a little caveat, guys, especially when it comes to issues pertaining to the sixth commandment. Even if it's somebody who's learned in moral theology, don't throw those kind of questions in a live stream on YouTube. Like you seriously need to be talking to an actual confessor.
Yeah, because that does get into kind of the realm of like that one Orthodox guy who is like, guys, I just sinned all over my computer and there's sin on the walls and there's sin dripping down from the ceilings. Please pray for me. And it's like, okay, that like lacks all prudence, bro. Like we don't need to hear the specifics. I mean, like that's probably not even something that you need to get into that much detail, even in confession. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just kind of weird. That's like exhibitionism at that point.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there is, some sort of just sinful vainglory there. And it's my thing too, right? Is just please pray for a private intention. Is that so hard to post, guys?
Yeah, that's real. Orthodox
Is
catechumen
it
daily
sinful to sleep
routine.
on a girl's lap before marriage? It is mortally sinful per accidens.
That's real.
Unironic question. I have a white friend who's into exclusively Asian girls. How do I get him to stop? He's a practicing Catholic. Well, given that I am half Asian, I'm not going to sit here and like I said, for myself, I would only ever date an Asian or a white woman. Now, just tell him to take some more pride in his culture,
I would be as blunt. I would honestly be as blunt with him about like, bro, you probably got that from porn. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's a very like pornographic mindset. Like just I mean, I know that's like blunt, but sometimes with your boys, it's not about like trying to humiliate your boy, but it is kind of about like, let's take a little bit of a reality check here, bro. Like, you probably got that from porn. Like, just stop watching, stop going on the hub, right? The only hub you should be going on is Prayer Hub, is Bible Hub, okay? Not the other one. So
Yo,
let's tone
so
that
true.
down.
Is there I usually use Bible Gateway if I'm just like pulling up the Bible on my desktop or something. Is there an actual Bible hub?
No, there is. It actually is super good, right? I think I made a joke about it a long time ago, and I was like, this is the only hub you should be going on, right?
I think, yeah, I remember you tweeting something out like that. All right, let's see what else do we got going on.
Oh yeah, Bible Hub has the Greek too, which is super nice because it can help you identify the exact meaning of the text of scripture. Rose Craig Trulli Maxi. Wait, doesn't Craig Trulli have a black wife though? I thought he took the Michael Lofton route.
He said he took the Michael Lofton route. He took the TD Barrett route. So true.
That's great, bro. Don't even bring up that name, TD Barrett.
Yeah,
That guy
hey, bro is a coal poster, dude. I mean, he is a legendary coal poster.
Dude, him and Modern Boethius are like on a speed run to like magisterial positivism reprobation.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I had a back and forth with him about, because I mean, he's blatantly Pelagian. He thinks that natural revelation of God suffices for present justification. And he admittedly, like, and I'm like, dude, you know you're condemned under Blessed Innocent the 11th, right? Like, he just acknowledges that his view is condemned. It's like insane.
All these people are so bad.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like, do you understand that like your understanding of faith, right, is just not like, obviously, in a broad sense, we can talk about a quote unquote natural faith that's based on human testimony, but that's obviously not the faith that's talked about in Trent, in Vatican I, when it talks about the faith that is, you know, the instrument by which we apprehend the justice of Christ, right? That condition for justification as a dispositive cause. Like, that's not what's being spoken about. It's talking about divine faith that rests on a divine testimony. It's just insane view. Well, it's like, dude, like, you know, like because this is Juan de Rapalda, the Jesuit. This was the view he espoused. Like, literally everyone in the tradition like condemns him for this. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, what are we even doing, bro?
Well, not to mention, it's like Modern Boethius straight up, like, he made like the most blasphemous comment in the like, this is like Saint Nicholas slapping Arius. I know that story is a myth, but like Saint Nicholas slapping Arius levels of bad, where he was like, oh, a gay couple getting a blessing has a much more likelihood of going to heaven than an SSPX member. And it's like, I'm pretty sure the SSPX grandma who's been like going to that chapel forever and probably doesn't know any better actually does unironically have a better chance of getting to heaven than two homos who like openly know that they're contradicting church teaching. Like, piss off. I that makes me so angry that even like exited his mouth. I mean, at some point it's like, these people have either got to be doing a bit, or they're just like this reprobate and they're literally speedrunning their way to hell. Like, I will be as blunt as that. Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
TD Barrett and him are just speedrunning their way to hell.
And what's crazy is, funny enough, I quote tweeted him and I said, like, this is just retarded because all mortal sins merit eternal punishment. And funny enough, it was TD Barrett who was defending him in my comment section. He was like trying to nuance what he said. I'm like, all right, man. What are we?
And at that point, you should just look at them and say, well, I hope you and TD Barrett get a nice blessing from Father James Martin for your gay union.
So true. So
for your same-sex union, bro.
Yo.
Dude, Chad Pope Francis literally made a blessing to pray the gay away. I still am like, I still can't believe that. I'm like, we didn't know, like, so many people did not trust the plan. And then like that letter came out after he died of like what he wrote to the Germans. And I'm like, we were always plan trusters, bro. Yeah. We always knew Bergoglio was holding it down.
It reminds me. So a lot of times, anybody who's had interactions with Inquisitor is that, you know, he'll try and like pull a fast one on you with like certain arguments against Catholicism. He's a smart guy, don't get me wrong, and I respect him, even if I think what he does, like when he's leading people away from Catholicism, is objectively evil. And I remember we were going back and forth about fiducia supplicans, and I read him the prescribed prayer, right? And then his idea, like that he whenever it gets brought up now, he's like, "Yo, they walked it back on the clarification, bro." I'm like, dude, like you switched your whole argument up when I read you the prescribed prayer about fiducia supplicans. So
Bro
yeah,
switched it up in the last quarter. He just
yeah,
made
he
it
did, he
right,
really
dude.
did. No, we talked about it, and then I read him the prescribed prayer, and he was like, "Oh well, they walked it back with the clarification." I'm like, "All right, dude. All right, man. Whatever." And that's what I
Bro's
always bring up when people talk. Like, okay, if you're unironically talking about fiducia supplicans in the big 2026, I'm just gonna say that you either lack reading comprehension or you're dishonest.
or you're John Henry Weston at LifeSite News and you make
That
AI Indian slop edits.
he is unironically Indian. And funny enough, my
Bro,
only formal debate is against an Indian too. Did you ever watch my debate with Anglican Aesthetics or
I
no?
need to. I hope you destroyed him, bro.
I think I cooked. I mean, even though a lot of like the well-read prots thought I won.
Dude, Anglican aesthetics, like, here's the thing. I could be really harsh to him, but I do got to give bro credit. Like, he did DoorDash my order yesterday. He did pull up to the door. He did bring it. Like, I could be a jerk to him, but like he did come in clutch with like my Wingstop order. So I can't even hate that bad.
Yo, bro's located in Canada. We have so many questions for you, man.
So of
Yo,
course he's Canadian and he's in. Okay, dude, this is like next you're gonna tell me he works at Tim Hortons. Like this is just way too perfect,
he's
honestly.
also pro contraception. I don't know if you know that too. He's got like cold takes galore, dude.
Dude, bro, theologically, unironically, is saying open bobs and vagine. Like that's just what he's doing.
Yo, it's cooked. It's cooked. Even like among like the classical Protestants, he's lib. I mean, it's pretty cooked.
That's so bad, man. Because honestly, I will be so for real. I have a lot of IRL Protestants that I respect the hell out of, and they're literally my brothers, and I would do anything for them. I love them so much that I want them to become Catholic, but like they're really sweet people and super smart. But online, I think the only Protestant that I truly intellectually respect is the other Paul. He's like the only guy who I think's like both like real and sincere and also like really, really, really smart.
Yeah, no, I would agree for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think some of the like among the online apologists, I would agree. There's certain guys like who are kind of just active like in the Substack spaces who I would consider very intellectual and
Oh,
are well read in
absolutely.
Catholic theology.
They probably
Someone like a
don't
Matt
have like
Hedges or like Inquisitor, I would admit that they're very well read in Catholic theology. Like it's kind of scary how well read they are, like compared to like Catholic apologists. It's kind of scary to think about.
dude, no,
Like
that
that these
totally
guys are
makes
like
sense.
reading like Suarez and the Salmo Ticenses, and then you ask like the average Catholic apologist, they're like, "Who's Suarez?"
Or they're like, did you know it doesn't say sola scriptura anywhere in the Bible? And you're like,
All right, man.
son,
Yo, it's so over.
like
And then
it's
meanwhile,
over.
you're just in a Discord VC having like a 2-hour debate on Augustine's view of concupiscence and if Canon 7 would condemn condemn Augustine's view on the works of unbelievers. You know what I mean? You'll just have that like autistic 2 a.m. debate, and then you just open Twitter and just see the most goy slop posts of all time, dude.
Guys, how would we know the Bible? How would we know any passage of the Bible if the church didn't tell us? Like and retweet if you agree. It's like,
Yo, it's so true. Dude, it's so bad with a lot of guys. Like I've seen like have you seen like the Protestant dilemma from like Cleave to Antiquity? And I'm like, and he just like keeps talking about like the distinction. Oh, like they don't have objective interpretations of the Bible. And I'm like, do you understand, right, that all of our knowledge as human beings is acquired through sense data?
it
And
is.
this doesn't change if you affirm that the church is a rule of faith, right? The
Right.
testimony of the church is still received through sense data. So all forms of knowledge has an objective and a subjective aspect. Like this is just like a basic claim of how we acquire knowledge as human beings because it's not infused into us like an angel.
No, it's
Uh,
not infused into us, and we still have to use our senses and our reason to come to a understanding of truth, right? Like
yeah.
that's not contradictory. And I mean, at least you're way more well read than I am, Michael. So please correct me if I'm wrong. But like, I remember like Jay Dyer would always bring up the whole point of like, oh, well, you go after Eastern Orthodox because we have these like councils and, that seem to be conflicting. And like, the tradition that we cite is kind of ambiguous. But then, you guys have to do the same thing with like magisterial pronouncements. But I guess like, the difference that I would say from at least an epistemic standpoint, and this is like a very like grug brain take, is that as a Catholic, if my disposition is just like, I will obey and accept everything that the church teaches, and if I'm wrong, then the church is right. I think puts you spiritually in a position where it's like, even if you commit theological error, you're still right in the sight of God, and He will not hold you liable for that error. Whereas it seems like oftentimes in the Eastern Orthodox world, I see guys saying that people will be held liable for intellectual errors that they make. And it's like, that does create kind of like an epistemic breakdown of like, how do you know you're truly Orthodox or not? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure maybe there's some Eastern Orthodox people that don't say that. So I'm not trying to characterize their view that way. But I see a lot online, like when someone makes an intellectual error in their circle, they're very quick to say, like, this person is damned and a reprobate.
Yeah, to be honest, I think when it comes to Eastern Orthodox epistemology and such, like I really just haven't read like Eastern Orthodox dogmatic thinkers to really like assess their paradigm. So I would say like if we're talking about Protestantism, because I'm pretty well read in their scholastics, especially on the rule of faith, I think their problem is fundamentally this. Their authors affirm articles of faith that are not expressly contained in Scripture. They cannot affirm the church as a rule of faith. So what it comes to it is that you have these articles of faith that are not expressly contained in Scripture, and they do not affirm a uniform principle that can bind your conscience irrevocably to the assent of divine faith. This is why you have things like, have you ever heard of the concept of adiaphora?
Oh
So it's
gosh,
basically this
I don't
idea
think
of
I have.
fundamental and non-fundamental articles. And this is something like at the core of Protestantism, and how it's just basically contrary to the nature of faith, to where you can have an individual culpably and formally dissent from a quote unquote non-fundamental article that is assented to on the authority of God revealing, and can be done so without danger to salvation. Like, that's obviously where I would point to an absurdity. And it flows from the fact that they cannot affirm a uniform principle that binds the consciences of the faithful for those articles of faith that aren't expressly contained, because their own authors acknowledge the existence of these articles of faith. But for their model, the church can only produce a human faith. It cannot produce a divine faith of its own witness. So this is where I would say fundamentally their framework is stuck, because they basically, in their model, the church is authority to bind your conscience is only a posteriori, not a priori. So if you watch my debate with Anglican aesthetics, I bring this up when I try to show how Tertullian, in his prescription against heretics, contradicts Article 21 of the 39 Articles, right? Because what Article 21 says something along the lines of that basically nothing from a council has authority unless it can be proven from Scripture, right? So it's a posteriori. And when you read Tertullian, when he talks about on the rule of faith, right, he's specifically, it's a section on where the rule of faith is to be found. He assumes it a priori. He's like, this is where the rule is to be found for the true sense and the true exposition of Scripture. And I'm saying he's assuming a priori that the true sense of Scripture is found with the church. Whereas for you, with pretty much all the Protestant confessions, if you say that the church is a principle, now obviously Scripture can function as a rule for that which is expressly contained. I grant that. And that would lead to an infinite regress if you would try to posit the necessity of the church, like in a strict absolute sense, for something that's expressly contained in Scripture. But obviously your own authors admit that not every article of faith is expressly contained. You don't have a medium or a sort of uniform principle that can bind the faithful to the assent of divine faith. And you run into the, and I would say fundamentally that's their problem epistemically. And that what you can demonstrate from the fathers is when they affirm like something that, now they'll obviously use the term like the universal church, right? But in their mind, the idea of the universal church is a principle that can bind your conscience irrevocably. And that's assumed a priori, not a posteriori that you've judged that this is in agreement with Scripture. That's what I would say fundamentally is their issue. But thank you for the super chat. Speaking of Suarez, at what point do eclectics form a school? I've heard people refer to themselves as Suarezians. Is it just arbitrary? Suarez does have just his own school of thought. Like, that's basically how schools of thought are formed, right? You have a certain thinker who's sort of an innovator. He has his own unique ideas. Like a lot of the Jesuits in the 19th and 20th century are going to refer to themselves as Suarezian. Now, don't get me wrong, like Suarez, in his mind, he thinks he's being faithful to St. Thomas. And there are some points where he does legitimately depart from St. Thomas. But I think anybody who's read Suarez, you can just read him and know he's a genius, even if you don't agree with all of his takes. And I don't agree with all of Suarez's takes. But I think arguably, if you're talking about from second scholasticism, he was obviously the most brilliant mind, without a doubt. I mean, he was just a genius. I think anybody who's read Suarez knows he's a genius, even if I don't agree with all of his takes.
I got to get more on Suarez, bro.
Yeah, no,
he's really, really good.
Oh yeah, no, his stuff is really good. And that's what I think too, is like when I read a lot of these trads, I'm like if you are really struggling with like just interpreting some of these post-conciliar documents, don't touch anything out of the Baroque era. Like, just don't even waste your time. Like, if you're struggling to read Fiducius Supplicans, bro, do not open up a scholastic disputation from the Baroque era, dude. Like, you're not ready for that, buddy.
It's just going to get way more complicated. Because, like, dude, I mean, even like the Council of Constance and stuff like that, like, and the end of the Great Western Schism and like Martin V and stuff like that. I mean, you want to talk about like hermeneutic of continuity. That's like a way more difficult case, which is still reconcilable, but that's a way more difficult case than like anything that Vatican II talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Trent and Vatican I are just objectively more controversial. Especially like, it's like, okay, like if you've like studied any form of political theology, you're all aware of like the Gallican presence basically up to the first Vatican Council.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You have like, obviously like the Jansenist controversies, all the debates on nature and grace following the Reformation. It's, it's just very obvious that I think anybody who's just done a serious study of Catholic theology just knows that. And this isn't trying to say like, oh, the Catholic Church has always had controversy, and that's like an awesome thing. It's just looking at it from the bigger picture, or from the just from a better perspective, is that the church has overcome far greater controversies than like, oh, here's this random clown mass in Brazil that Cleave to Antiquity is making a video about that. Okay, I don't feel like doing like the 25 minutes of research to even confirm like this is a legitimate Catholic mass. And it's like, yeah, like people like him. I mean, I think he's a moron. I'm just gonna be honest. But
he is.
At the
He's
same
completely
time,
dumb. I don't respect him at all.
At the same time, it's sad to see that people are scandalized by people like that. It is really sad to see that, which is why I do think there does need to be those kind of people who clarify controversies like that and stupid stuff like that. Because like I recognize like on the grand scale of things, right? My most recent video was, I wasn't necessarily looking to answer every objection from the Augustinian corpus, but I wanted to try and show that like Augustine's view of concupiscence is what substantially what Trent is affirming. And like I recognize that like the average like person who's inquiring into Catholicism isn't looking into some like really autistic question like that, right? They're looking into like the stupid stuff that a Cleave to Antiquity would post about, and that would be scandalizing to them. So I do recognize that stuff like that does need to be addressed. It's just sad that that's what people are scandalized by these days.
Well, unironically, like if anyone's ever having like spiritual struggles over the modern crisis in the church or whatever, I would highly recommend the historical work of Roberto de Mattei. I don't know, Michael, have you read any of Roberto's works?
I have not, unfortunately.
He's really good. He's kind of more like SSPX adjacent, but he's not like a full on. I found him to actually be very measured. I think he actually does make the best historical case for like the recognize and resist position, but from a standpoint of like it being temporary orders from the Pope, not like I can resist an entire ecumenical council and like 7 popes in a row. But regardless, like he does a really, really good job of, I think grounding our understanding of history and how the church has overcome crises in her past that almost seemed more daunting and way more scandalizing than anything we're dealing with in this time. Because I'll be honest, like, one of the biggest contributors to the crisis is that we have such a bad level of catechesis. But I think like the worst catechesis we kind of have is honestly the historical catechesis, and especially for our times over the history of the church, because like we tend to kind of almost depict like church history in this very rosy way, right? Where it's like everything was great, then 1958 came along, and that was the beginning of the dark times, right?
Yeah.
And in reality, it's like, I mean, there were times where people didn't know like who the true pope was, right? There were times where, the pope was like literally kicked out of Rome and had to fight a Jewish anti-pope to get back in. I mean, that would have been pretty
Yeah.
crazy time to live in, right? Um it's very humbling, and well, it's not humbling, it's very reassuring, and it's very life affirming to read those historical crises and realize like, dude, yes, things are bad, but this is nothing. Like we can overcome this, right? We've overcome far greater odds. We've overcome far greater situations, and like the church persisted. I mean, there's a letter from Saint Basil the Great where he's like straight up despairing over the indefectibility of the church. Like that's how bad the Arian crisis has gotten. And he's writing in a way where he's like, it almost seems like the true faith is basically extinguished throughout the world. And look what happened. Is anyone Arian anymore? No. Maybe like one Twitter Protestant, right? Or like one gimmick account. But it's like nobody is Arian anymore. And it's like you have to view. I think classical theist, our friend, said it best to me a long time ago, and it really changed my view of just everything. He's like, you have to think in terms of eons, not like day to day, right? Because there will be people who focus on the day to day, and they're like, oh, what's the Dutch bishops conference doing, or what are the Germans up to right now? And it's like, we will get through this, bro. Like, don't, I'm not saying don't labor and don't do the best you can in your own way, in your own local area to fight the crisis in the church. Definitely do. Martha and Mary are sisters, such as prayer and action, as St. Bernard of Clairvaux says. But it's like, don't despair at the same time. Like, God's got this.
Absolutely, dude. And I really think also looking at it from the perspective of Catholic theology is that in these moments of crisis is the time where the church produces her best theologians and her best works in Catholic theology. So, if we're consuming more white pills, and I think like to a certain extent, we're starting to see this with works that are coming out from like the Thomistic Institute and the Ressourcements. Especially like think about it, right? Like a lot of the great work from the Schola Romano, like it wasn't just like all sunshine and rainbows. Like they were dealing with the predominance of atheistic philosophy and rationalism prevailing all across Europe. So
Well,
there's definitely
and not to mention, I mean, even like dealing with the question development of doctrine in the early like onset of the modernist crisis, where the modernist crisis was really trying to like historize our understanding of like Catholic dogma and doctrine. And it took great men like St. John Henry Newman or like Father Giovanni Perone to kind of like go in there and be like, no, here's actually how we understand DOD. It's not like, I mean, I remember I was like reading some quotes from like George Tyrrell, one of like the worst guys during that crisis, and like bro was just straight up insane. Like some of the stuff he was saying, dude, I'm like, this is someone who's like literally just got the spirit of the devil in him.
yeah. No, I mean in general, dude, it's just very interesting like when you read into those times. Have you looked into like how much like Blessed Pius IX's pontificate unironically was hated? Like I always bring this up as a story as to like I don't know if you've heard this story, but basically after Blessed Pius IX died, the cardinals so he wanted to be buried outside of the Vatican. The cardinals had to sneak his casket out at night with the police force to prevent a mob from trying to throw his casket into the Tiber. And they still got ran into a mob when they were trying to escort his casket out at night. And it goes to show you like beyond the surface level that a lot of like the sort of quote unquote matrad pope, right? They had very controversial pontificates as well.
Dude, like Pius IX honestly like inspires me a lot. Like I still remember that one story where I think he like declared something about liberalism, or he like made some speech to like the crowd in Rome that was like literally rioting outside St. Peter's. And it was said that like as he was like going through, I can't remember I think it was where the Pope actually like lives. I can't remember the name of the building. There was like gunfire like crashing through the windows. Like he was like running through the hall trying to escape Rome. And it's like this guy literally looked at a world that forgot God and just said, "Look, you can be Catholic, but you have to like be Catholic in like this special little way that like we want you to be Catholic." And he defiantly, like even at the risk of his own life, just said no. Like I want to be fully Catholic. I want to be the full meaning of what it means to be Catholic. And I don't care what kind of controversy it creates. I don't care what kind of contention it generates. Like I love God and I'm going to give my witness to Jesus Christ to the entire world. Like that inspires me every single day.
Amen. Amen. All right. $2 super chat here. Should men marry young or build something first? Marry young. I think that's the question.
Marry young. I mean, I'm monk. I'm 25 and I'm not married. So, you know, I'm kind of trying to build something. And I think that's going pretty well. But, you know, I definitely want to make sure that I've kind of got my ducks in a row. Not so much like monetarily though. I'm fine on that, but it's just more like spiritual life and all that kind of stuff. I think everyone finds themselves in a different situation. If you can marry young, that's the most ideal. But don't feel like a failure if like you're kind of in a position where you're like an older guy and you're just trying to figure your stuff out.
Yeah, I think another thing as well is that marry young as long as you have your goals straight.
Yes.
I'll make that caveat. All right, let's see. I know we've kind of went on a long tangent off topic, but I really appreciate these talks, Pinesap. Let's see what
Dude,
we
of
have
course.
here. Dating as a hobby. Hey all, my housemate and I recently got into an argument about our dating methods, and I wanted to get some advice to see if I'm off the mark here. Essentially, we were talking about approaches to the initial phase of going on dates with people. I used to approach dating very seriously. Courting would be a word I would use, for instance. Over time, I've found that way of going about it puts far too much pressure on a first or second date. What I found works better is to treat dating kind of like a hobby, in the sense of focusing on getting to know one another, with a focus on helping both my date and myself better understand what we are looking for in a partner, and making those initial dates focus more on having an enjoyable time doing something fun, like going on for a hike, paddleboarding, going to a museum, things that are just more fun to do when you have somebody with whom you enjoy the company to do with them. My housemate's perspective is that this isn't aligned with my Catholic faith. I don't understand how these two are concepts are mutually opposed to the idea of seriously dating, but also like trying to get to know each other. I don't see why is there like some sort of dichotomy between these two aspects.
Well, I will touch on maybe kind of a problem that like some people have where someone said I turned off my camera to eat a slice of pizza. I actually was picking my nose, but that's okay.
Yo, real.
Listen, you know, we all got to dig for gold, right? But I did not eat my boogers. To clarify, I saw Papist said that in chat. I don't eat my boogers. I'm a flicker, not an eater, right? But you know, it's interesting because like in Catholic dating, it's almost this like all or nothing thing where it's like if you're dating someone, you almost have to like, I don't know, like already be planning the wedding. You know what I mean? And I think that's like a really like bad, that's a really bad ordering of dating, right? Like dating should more be like you guys feeling out if you're compatible in that way, because that's what it is, right? It's dating, it's not marriage yet. And you should just try to like kind of feel out whether the relationship is moving in the right direction and is moving kind of in the way you want it to, rather than trying to immediately say, I'm going to marry this girl tomorrow, right? Because like some of my worst relationships were when I rushed things and I said like, we're going to get married tomorrow and we're going to have this life together and stuff like that. And then when that didn't pan out, it made the breakup a lot harder. It made it a lot more like painful. I felt like worse about it and stuff like that. Versus if you're just kind of chill about it at first, and you're like, hey, you know, we're going to just take it as it goes, right? We'll see where things go. And honestly, it's like if things don't work out, like, dude, you don't have to keep dating. Like, it's okay to break up. It's okay to like call it off if things just don't work out in that way.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it also depends too. I feel like you could probably be more serious from the get-go if you've known this person significantly, like as a friend,
Oh
as
yeah.
opposed to like if you had just like the first, like you just are getting to know each other through these dates. But if it's someone like you were friends with and you kind of already knew each other very well, I think you can be more serious just from the jump. That would be my take.
I would agree. I think it's one of those things where you have to judge it based on sort of the situation at hand. I've always wanted to be in a situation where like I had like a girl that I was friends with and it kind of turned into a relationship, but I don't know, just in the past few years that hasn't really been my social circle. So for me it is kind of more like I have to feel things out kind of as we go.
For sure. No, I get you. Let's see. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. I feel like we're going to be reading some black pill. We're reading some black pilling. All right. How do you balance the desire for marriage with trusting God? I'm a young Catholic woman in my early 20s, and I've been single for about 2 years after my first relationship. I still desire marriage, but I'm realizing I don't really know how to be joyful in this season of singleness. Sometimes I catch myself thinking so much about the future that I forget to appreciate where God has me right now. I used to attend marriage and dating events because I genuinely wanted to learn, but if I'm being honest, I'd also have my future spouse glasses on. Now I'm honestly just exhausted by that mindset. For the time being, I'm not considering dating apps. I think I need some space to stop striving, surrender this desire to the Lord, and trust Him more. I've even wondered whether a dating fast for a season might be good for my heart. For those of you who have gone through something similar, how did you learn to genuinely enjoy being single while still holding on to the desire for marriage? What helped you shift from waiting for the next chapter to embracing the one you are already living? Like, I feel like my advice for this woman is just like put your spiritual life as your first priority. And like, I feel like if you're decently attractive, you're going to find guys that approach you. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, girls have it like way easier. I mean, I always kind of laugh a little bit when like women are like, I'm so lonely. And it's that meme of like her closing the door. It's like
yeah.
chuds, incels, Asian guys, like, you know, just everyone,
Asian guy.
everyone wants a slice, right? It's like you guys don't have a problem. Um, but I think it's okay to also take like breaks from dating and stuff like that. You really should focus on being content with yourself. At the end of the day, it's like you cannot, another person's not going to complete you, right? Like that's the hardest truth I've ever had to have in my life. Because like, look, jokes aside, it's like, I've always been kind of a fake cell, right? I've always thought like, oh, if I meet that like special girl or whatever, my life's gonna be totally different. And then it's like,
Yo,
I'd
like
meet
a
some
Hallmark movie and shit, right?
dude, actually though, like a Hallmark movie, like we're coming together. Or for me, it was always like those millennial coming of age movies, like Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, or like Perks of Being a Wallflower. Like, she's like wholesome chungus and kind of quirky, and like I am too. And we're in this crazy thing called life. And it's like I've had to learn to be just content with myself. Right. I've had to learn to just be content with myself. I've had to learn to be content with God, and like whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Like you can't make a woman your priority, because even if she's like the best woman in the entire world, she's not ever going to complete you. Like only God can complete you. Only God can fill that like empty crevice in your heart. And I think a lot of guys nowadays, they almost divinize relationships because they think that the emptiness that they feel is coming from not being with a woman. It's not coming from not being with a woman. It's coming from having a terrible relationship with God and not allowing him to sort of be more present in your life.
St. Augustine vindicated in his Confessions once again. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you.
He is, dude. Like, I remember I was reading the Manual for Conquering Deadly Sin, which is like a really good little book, actually. I really love that little guy. And
it's funny you said little guy, given the comment right here.
Pinesap Scott Latina.
No. Not that one. I'm not gonna put it highlight it. I don't know if you've seen it.
Dude, no. Stop, George. Listen,
Yeah, all
pal.
I'm gonna say that there are certain impediments from marriage that would make an annulment possible, and certain physical defects such as that would be
Dang,
an impediment for marriage. But let's not get into that. I will leave it at
that's
that.
true. It's true. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. We'll all figure it out. A micropenis is not gonna keep you from things.
Yeah, I
But
know. Literally, I know this came like what's funny is I get off work, right? And Wagner's doing a stream with Jesus and whatnot, and I click on this stream, and this is what they're talking about, you know.
that's crazy.
It's so over.
It's
But yeah,
so over, dude.
moving on, guys. All right, guys, stop asking
Locking
about
back
that.
in. Michael Corleone, lock back in.
Yo, lock in, guys. Book 6 of St. Alphonsus's Theologia Moralis. Get it translated and read it.
That's real.
Let's see.
Oh wait, didn't Mediatrix Press already translate it?
So they only have book 1 and book 2 translated so far.
Dude.
And it's been like I don't think there's been a new translation from them since like 2018.
They gotta get back on.
Come on, Ryan Grant. Come on, dude. Where's our wholesome Chungus English translation? I gotta pay my AI guy from Brazil, okay? So I can get my stuff.
We gotta just do it.
Funny enough, he's a Protestant too. He's cool. He's cool as hell. He's cool as hell. But yeah, he's done he'll do like a 300-page translation for me for like $20 US. It's kind of insane.
That's real.
So
dude,
hey,
that's so awesome of him, honestly. Like he's a real one for doing that.
So true.
Oh gosh, what were we talking about? But yeah, the manual for conquering like deadly sin, like I remember like St. Augustine says in that manual where they quoted from Confessions where it's like I saw the brambles of my desire kind of grow over me, and it's like I couldn't see you anymore. You know what I mean? Like I think that is kind of like what a lot of young men, especially in Gen Z, go through with women, where you just like make women these like brambles of desire, and it doesn't allow you to see God for who he is. And you see how this like misleads people. I mean, it's like how Solomon was tempted into strange worship because of women, right? Like guys are willing to do like anything for girls nowadays. They're willing to humiliate themselves in any way or denigrate themselves. I mean, even like, you know, looks maxing is, if it's like natural, is good to a certain extent. It's like you should take care of yourself and have like, you know, maybe like a regimen, like moisturizing your face or working out or whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, I do feel like it is a little bit for female validation. It is a little bit like, I want to look attractive enough so that like girls will like me and swarm me, versus you need to be content with yourself. And you need to realize that like God is the only thing that should be the object of all our desire. Women will come and go, but he's forever.
Absolutely. It's tough out here. And I think a lot of it too, I think you'd agree with me on this, is that a lot of the media we consume growing up basically programs men to just basically make women like their end all be all.
Oh yeah.
Just like even shows that you think are kind of innocent. Like recently, like when I was in between jobs, I watched like all of Big Time Rush. And I just like a random show like that. It's just like it basically just programmed us as kids to like make women our end all be all.
Dude, it's so classic in that way. Like all those Disney Channel shows we grew up watching, all those movies we grew up watching and stuff like that, it totally taught us from the age of being a kid to like being a teenager that it's like, oh, if you get like the girl, it's happily ever after and stuff like that. And I'm going to be real. It's like sometimes your most miserable is like you're dating a girl right now. You know what I mean? It's like you can't hang out with the boys as much, but like, you know, not only can you not be like a gamer or hang out with the boys, it's like there's kind of this internal emptiness going on and you feel like the relationship is kind of straining you. And so it's a very hard lesson to learn. You have to like undo years of programming that was just created because of TV.
So true. So true.
It's kind of like what Father Feeney said, you know, having a TV in your house is like having a, you know, something.
Yo, he was real for that?
He was real for that.
Alrighty. Navigating secular apps. All right, this is already a red flag. Okay. Hey everyone, third here. As we all know, it's pretty rough out here. Although I'm talking to a few Catholic women I initially met through Catholic Match, Upward, and Sacred Spark. I have a feeling it might fall through as best as I can explain. There's not very many I've found to be attractive on the faith-based dating apps, unfortunately. Personal preference, I'm not bashing, God bless them. And the pool is incredibly small to the point where I'm seeing the same people across the faith-based apps. I get likes and matches on the secular apps, no problem, but I run into a few issues. They aren't Catholic, not interested in missionary dating for obvious reasons. I filter by Catholic in this case on Facebook dating as a deal breaker, and it's immediately awkward because they haven't been practicing since they were a kid, or just went through with their sacraments because they were told and that's it. Trying to find a practicing Catholic seems to be really hard. However, I've proven my single Catholic women don't exist statement wrong since I'm talking to some. Does anyone have any strategies or approaches to filtering out a lot of cultural Catholics in these apps? I don't intend for this to be a holier than thou post. I'm not sure how else to word this if it makes sense. Currently using Hinge, Bumble, Facebook for non-faith-based apps. I mean, I never, like I said, I don't know. When it comes to dating apps, I can't really say that. What is your take on dating apps?
They're terrible, dude. I mean, honestly, it's like if you're going on there, you just want to hook up. You know what I mean? Like Hinge, I've seen work better of all of them. So it's like if you gotta use one, I think Hinge would probably be the best. We both know how bad Catholic Match is, bro. Like I don't think you should even touch it. I'm gonna be real.
Yo, dude, unironically, dude, I was just bored on Catholic Match, and I basically just DM'd like 12 girls. What's your take on ecclesiastical faith? And like the one girl who was like SSPX, who I thought would respond, there was no response. I was like, you know what? I guess the DoorDash Thomas clout really didn't work out for me.
Dude, it's rough. They don't know that you're a real one, bro.
I know.
They don't know that you're a real one. But here's the thing. You go to Starbucks and you see the cute barista that's like a 10, and she says, wait a minute, you're Michael Corleone? You're the DoorDash Thomist? And she faints immediately. She's yours, bro.
Yeah. Funny enough, my girlfriend is a fan of my channel, and you know, that's kind of how
that's
real. I use that to my advantage for a little bit of RIZZ, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, if she's into that kind of stuff of like the online sphere or what have you, it's definitely an advantage. But yeah, dude, like dating apps are nightmarish. They're horrible. I've only met a couple people where there's been a successful like marriage as a result of a dating app. Most of the time it's been like completely accidental. Like in like Spexo's case, like him and his wife literally met on Tinder, but they just happened to like hit it off so well that I guess it was like a 1 in a million chance. And he all the time will tell you, he's like, don't go on Tinder to meet your wife. I've met a couple dudes who I like I said, Hinge has kind of been the best. I had one guy who like really shopped around Catholic Match, but like this was a long distance relationship and he had like the money to go fly out to see her and now they're married. But I really think it's like you just got to meet girls IRL. That's been my best experience. That's been kind of like I think what creates a very like beautiful legacy to leave on, so that like when you're telling your kids the story of how you and your mom met, or how you and your mom met, how they you met their mother, like it makes for a better story than
how
like
I met your mother.
How I met your mother. It makes for a better story than like, yeah, so I saw this hot babe when I was going on Tinder and I swiped right on her and we matched. And that night, we stopped at Whataburger and got a double decker together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how me and your mom met. It's like, that is not it.
Hey, they managed to turn it into a 9-season show. You never know, man.
That's real.
Dude, Catholic Match is great if you're looking for a fat chopped Zilla. DoorDash, DoorDash
not
goes
even
to OCIA to get his girls. This is not true, guys. Okay, I'm not voice of reason. Okay, I'm just kidding.
So you're not like, hey, girl, you want to learn about catechism? I'll teach you after.
Yo, you want to watch my cringe videos?
So he's like, basically what I'm going to do is deny extra ecclesiam nola salis because like they're like our separated brothers. That means that they don't have to become Catholic. They've got sacraments, bro.
Real dude. Oh my god.
We hate VOR. We hate him. He is so bad, bro.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane to me that he's like, yo, I'm stepping back and I'm just going on Patreon, but I will appear on like literally a billion people, different channels every week. and use the collab feature, which features my channel. But yo, the video's not posted on my channel though, guys. Like, dude, what is this nonsense, man?
That's totally different. Dude, see, you're just a hater. In fact, Michael, I think you're probably an anti-Semitic Nazi. Okay. So I'm just gonna invalidate your opinion on VOR. Because he is following his conscience, bro. Okay.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
following his conscience, he's doing the right thing, and you're like, you hang out with Wagner, dude, you're basically Adolf Eichmann. I'm sorry.
yo, wasn't there this guy who was unironically like accusing you and Wagner yesterday on Twitter of being like white supremacists?
That
Yo,
guy is such a word that I would say on my stream, but not on yours. Because I want to be
don't
respectful.
say what you gotta say, dude.
Okay, that guy's such a fag, bro. Like, I'm gonna be so real. Like, I hate, when I say hate, I don't mean literally hate, but I hate people who talk that way. It's so smarmy and it's so like backhanded, like, oh, you're like a Fuentes white supremacist follower. And it's like, speak like a man, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if you're just gonna call me like this or that, or call Wagner this or that, speak like a man. Don't do this like backhanded, like passive aggressive thing. Also, it's 2026. If you're unironically using terms like white supremacist or Nazi or fascist or any of these terms, it's like you're just gay. You're actually gay. Like, you actually are married to a man at that point. Like, grow up and grow some hair on your chest, okay?
Yeah. See, my thing is, I don't collaborate with the Joe Heschmeyers of the world, so I can be like, yeah, I'm a white supremacist. What are you going to do about it?
Dude, and here's the thing. You'd have validity because you're half Asian, so you would be. You're literally Filipino, bro.
Yo, I allow the white to dominate the Asian half, dude. What can I say? I allow it within my own genes, guys, so I'm vindicated.
Dude, Michael's literally the Axis. Like, he's literally Asian and he's white. Like, dude, I can't compete. I kneel, bro.
So true. Okay, let's see what else we got going on. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Dating in college as an older student. This is the one thing I'm kind of worried about, especially if done wrong, it could be disastrous. I'm going back to college at 22 after spending 4 years in the military. I'm going to a Catholic university. Well, I'm just going to say that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find a lot of devout Catholic women, but
that's real.
And the one thing about them is that not only do you graduate with a graduation ring, but also a wedding ring, usually. In all seriousness, all schools like this, alum couples are extremely common. I think I read around 80% at my school, especially among practicing Catholic couples. Oh, okay. Maybe we can consume white pills. So I still want to throw my hat in the ring and see if I can meet a potential partner. I really don't want to come off as creepy, especially being 4 years older than the person in my year. And many vets are seen as weird or out of touch. Many fellow vets told me that I shouldn't even think about it. I still want to take my academics very seriously, but especially since I couldn't date in the military due to deployments, moves, and having a bad work schedule, I really do want to try and be serious with dating. Dude, why are you worried about a 4-year age gap? What? That's what I'm
big deal.
Dude, like, my mom and dad were 18 years apart, dude. Like, you're good, man.
I literally dated a girl like right as she turned 18 and I was 23. So like, I don't even like, who cares?
Yeah, dude, like, why are you worried about, oh, they're 4 years younger than me? Like, dude, come on, man. Like, what are we even talking about here?
That is like a very feminist. This is going to be a hot take. But
raped by Floyd propaganda is so real.
Real, dude. Like, that is like a very feminist coded thing where it's like, don't get me wrong, there are like guys that like creep on younger women or whatever, but like this whole like, oh my goodness, she's 19 and you're 23, you total creep. You're a total creep. It's like, bro, that is not pedophilia, okay? Like, what are you talking about?
Yo, what do we have here? Thank you for being a member for 5 months, Evan. Highly appreciated. Michael, where's the Charlie Chaplin mustache coming? Clean shave, man. Got to keep it clean shave, man. I actually just shaved right before the stream, so.
W. Laden. We could never be, dude, Phodians, we could never be caught dead with beards.
So true, so true. I was gonna say, well, funny enough, Kevin does. I think he has a mustache, but he unironically is also a bizlarper too. It's just something with the Latinx, man.
It's real.
Yeah, it is
It's
what
real.
it is, though. Yo, let's see what. Man, I don't know. Like I said, dude, like I don't know what kind of media you've been consuming, man. You got to stop watching Jackie Angel videos or whatever the hell you've been watching, man.
What's Jackie Angel?
You know the one girl from Ascension Presents. I was just throwing a name out there just to.
Oh, okay. Dude, I feel like I never catch those Ascension Presents videos.
Oh, I don't either. It's just I remember back in the day, Wagner had like this is like old Wagner, where he had a video where he's like reacting to like a Jackie Angel video about feminism and just
Was
like
it
her whole
terrible?
yeah, like her horrible exegesis of Ephesians 5. I'm like, oh my gosh,
That's
so
terrible.
cooked.
It's cooked, bro. It's looking bleak.
Alrighty, what do we got here? Man, what is it with these women blackpilling here? Female 25. Is this a yap fest? This is too much yap. We're gonna have to look for another one. Too much yap.
My confirmation saint is Saint Difna.
Let's see.
Bro, I'm gonna be okay. So this is a really hot take. This is not, when I say this, I want to totally preface this is not a disrespect towards the Saints. But like you do get a lot of those girls that like convert after college and their patron saint is like Saint Mary Magdalene or Saint Mary of Egypt. And it's like, oh, I know why.
Yo, bro's like,
okay, that's, like no disrespect towards those saintly women of God. I don't mean it in that way, but it's like, they'll say like, I kind of went, they'll say in their Catholic match bio, I went astray in college. I went astray.
yo, I went
And
to
it's
stray. Yo, we know what that's code for, bro.
And it's like, okay, so you went astray to the boys lacrosse locker room. That's okay. I think I'm piecing it together now. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right, bro. We didn't need to know that. yo, had to throw that into the Catholic match profile. I went astray.
I went astray. I had to find my faith after college. Okay. I got you.
Yo. It's unironically when like the secular women are just like, I have to explore my sexuality, but just in like a more like PG-13 way of saying it.
Yeah, dude, literally it's that way. And then they're like, they have more bodies than the Vietnam War, more than the siege on Saigon. But then they're gonna come in and be like, so my man needs to have 60 inches. He needs to be driving a Bugatti. He needs to be making six figures. It's like, are we dead ass right now? Like, is that
it's
what
so
we're gonna
over.
like? I'm gonna be honest. You're gonna be lucky if you bag the guy who's got his next shift at Five Guys. Like, that's just
so
let's start thinking a little bit more realistic.
Yeah. Yo, it's so over, guys. Yeah. Hey, blue collar jobs for the win, man. So what was I gonna say? Yeah,
It's
I mean,
real.
for now, I'm a delivery driver for Amazon. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
Dude, that's totally valid. I mean, like blue collar is totally valid and stuff like that. Like, I'm not even insulting it. It's just one of those things where it's like these women, like, just they're not judging their proportions or whatever. Okay, dude, this orthodoxy is cool guy has got to be a troll in chat. He's like, guys, don't be cruel. Virginity isn't that important. Like, bro, master rage baiter right there.
Yo, bro's rage baiting. Well, his profile is orthodoxy is cool, so you never know, man. You never know.
This got to be like one of our guys. He's just trying to get a rise out of us.
Yo.
So next he's gonna be like in chat. He's like, guys, can you please pray for me? Like, as I was watching this video, Michael, like the angle of his jaw was just so good. I got sin all over my keyboard, bro.
Yo, I fell back into lust. Please pray for me.
Freak, I just saying it's washed clean after conversion. Son, are we real right now?
Yeah.
Guys, she's born again. Bro's gonna be like, dude, Bonnie Blue, it might as well have been that she's born again. It's like Nothing happened.
Yo,
Oh,
as I
dude,
was watching this
Sam.
video, another tab opened up and I fell into lust.
Dude, rip my boy
Okay, yo,
Sam. He
this
fell into
guy has to
lust.
be rage baiting. Orthodoxy is cool, has to be rage baiting. What?
He's got to be.
He's got to be rage
He's
baiting.
now
What?
saying it's good to have a girl with some okay, bro, we get it. You're one of our boys. You just made a fake account. We get it. All right.
All right, bro. Yeah. Okay, man. It's time to retire. It's time to retire.
Dude, W bit though. W bit.
W bit. Okay. Getting good night texts and being asked if I'm talking to other people before we've even had a first date. I'm trying to determine if this is normal or if this is love bombing. I know love bombing is typically intentional and manipulative. I think this is more so enthusiasm, but still, does it seem fast to anyone else? Because it does to me. I've been talking to a guy online and we've hit it off well. But after only texting for 4 days, he was asking me if I'm talking to anyone else and was telling me he's been told not to not put all his eggs in one basket, but he's not good at listening. Flattering or too much too early. There's been other subtle things as well. When talking about the future, he would talk about owning 2 houses, but would say we would own 2 houses. And he said stuff like time is ticking with all his friends getting engaged. And he just wants to find his person. We are 22 for reference. And he's been sending goodnight texts. And to me, that feels something you do when you're serious about a person. Maybe I'm overeating, overthinking this, and it just seems fast to me. I don't have much dating experience, especially online, but I feel like I'm already set up to really hurt his feelings if the date doesn't go well. I do think the guy is, he's trying a little too hard. He's definitely, I would say,
Dude.
to say the least.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where let's see here. Time is ticking and his friends are getting that feels a little like existential crisis kind of vibe where you don't want to approach a relationship that way either. You know what I mean? Like, I know you don't want to be like the meme where it's like, mom, dad, 30 is young. Okay, 30 is young. I have all this time. But at the same time, like, if you're a good dude and you've got your stuff together, like everything will like fade out. You don't want to like rush things or date a girl out of this like crisis of like, oh, I'm never gonna find one if I don't like marry this girl right in front of me. Wait for the right girl, not any girl.
So true.
Dude, sorry. I'm trying to screenshot. I have to remember the screenshot function because Mike earlier said ortho niggas be like Schrodinger's baptism. Nala Ray is saved, but the new convert from the church mine hates politically has to be rebaptized.
That's cooked. That's cooked.
I have to figure out how to screenshot on Windows, bro. I'm gonna post that on Twitter. That's so good.
Yo, real. So true. Let's see. What else do we got going on? Okay. Thank goodness it's not an essay. He came back. Hi, all. I posted here a few days ago. Why are people regularly posting on here? I don't know, man. To me, that just seems weird. I mean, posting on here
This is like some Dear Diary type vibes too.
So true. Like, yo, I'm just gonna regularly post on r/CatholicDating. Had a hard breakup 5 weeks ago. Your prayers certainly created a break, though. I'm not back with him. I haven't collapsed into an unhealthy dynamic. While I'm open to reconciliation, I just want to thank you all, the inner peace I have, and the fact I'm not putting marriage or him as a false idol above God. I'm so grateful to you all. If any of you have prayer requests, I will return the favor gladly. All right, Sap, interact with the chat a little bit. I just have to use the bathroom like really quick.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah. I'll hold it down. This is the Sap stream now, fellas. All right, he's gone. So now we can say racist things. Super racists. Where are my super racists in chat? S if you're a super racist. SR if you're a super racist. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. Let's see here. The unhealthy dynamic. While I'm open to reconciliation, I just want to thank you all. The inner peace. Bro, like, why are people like treating this like this is their diary? Why are people treating this like this is their diary? This is just too, like, I get sometimes people like don't. Dude, Sam Cordova said, Dear Father James Martin, today I gooned 15 times because Catholic Match didn't give me any dates. So real, dude. So real. Oh, dude, they're doing an end tower in your chat now.
Hey, you know what? I don't take responsibility, man. I don't take responsibility.
Dude, it's orthodoxy is cooler, boy.
Yo, we got to know who this is. This man is a legendary troll.
I know. This is probably Sporty Winter hasn't talked for a long time, so I'm wondering. No, wait, I see Sporty now. There's got to be somebody. Sorry,
yo, this one should be interesting. 34 female. Yo, yo, undercover VOR, real?
Real. I went on a date over texting. He seemed confident and comfortable in his own skin. We connected in so many ways, and it seemed as though it was going to be like that in person. Nope, he was shy, soft-spoken, and nowhere near as confident as he appeared to be in text. Felt like I was catfish, all this emotional investing for weeks and then being disappointed. I try to have no expectations, but I have these amazing text exchanges that generate the illusion of deep connection, just ranting. Again, It's like you can't create a relationship from online. I just don't think you can. There is something about like meeting a woman IRL, and I think the kind of connection and like not camaraderie, the kind of like rep you guys get going versus like online, anyone can be anything, right? I mean, you could be texting a 38-year-old obese man, right? You could be texting a 38-year-old obese man, and he just knows what to say, and he's giving you the illusion that you're texting your sundress wearing trad Pinterest girl, right? So I think you really need to just like focus on kind of cultivating those IRL connections.
Also, I'm just going to say 34-year-old female, like, all right, it's time for you to drop the bar considerably. That's all I'm going to say.
Wait, I missed that. She's 34?
Yeah.
Son. Okay, that's... You know what? Honestly, girl, that's the best you're going to do. Let's be a little real. The shy, soft-spoken guy, I know you have a little bit of a problem, but that's the best you're going to do, okay?
So over. All right. We got another black pill. It seems like a guy. Another 34-year-old, this time a male. I'm 34 and struggle finding a girl who values Catholic conservative values. I get ghosted on dating apps, which I know is God protecting me. Being an old dad really bothers me. My parents are 66 and while healthy, I worry they won't get to know their grandkids very long by the time I find a wife. Then I worry my kids won't know me as long as they could if I had them in my 20s. I just wasn't ready then to provide, protect, and lead a woman closer to God. Now I want more than anything to have a wife and kids. How are we meeting women these days besides dating apps? Pick her up from her local high school graduation, big bro. You got the bag. You got the bag, bro. You have the bag now. Find the local private Catholic high school and, just pick them up from graduation, bro. That's what you got to do.
That's real. That's real. Dude, like, honestly, I mean, 34 is not ancient for a guy. If he said he was 40, it still, I mean, even at 40, like, things can work out. I don't know. Dudes' timelines are kind of different. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I think, like, if you're 40, you're not going to be dating probably, like, a 21-year-old girl. But it's like, if you're, like, 34, like, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to date, like, a 25-year-old girl or whatever. Like, it's not completely cooked for you. It's not completely over.
I feel like especially at like a lot of these like trad communities, right? Like, TLM type parishes, like those younger women are going to go for an older guy if you're decently groomed, decent looking, have charisma, have everything figured out, and you have traditional Catholic values. I feel like you can bag a younger woman.
I think so too. I think if you're like a put together guy, I mean, honestly, it's like, this is going to sound really simple, but it's like, just don't be fat and take a shower and you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Like if you're not
have
fat,
a decent haircut, dress decently, like it takes you a long way.
It's true. Well, and if you are fat, then be funny. Be like John Candy, be like John Candy, Be like, oh gosh, who's a Chris Farley? You know,
Beardson.
wait, Beardson isn't fat.
Is he
Well, I
not?
mean,
Is he?
well, oh wait, are you thinking of the AI images he posts of himself?
Yeah, that's what I don't know him well, but
Oh,
I've just
okay.
seen like his profile
No,
images, so that's what I assumed.
so that's AI.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
fair
no,
enough.
he's actually super fit. He lifts like a lot and stuff like that. He posts those images because it's kind of a part of his bit where he like baits these women who think that they're like all that, and then he's like, "I'm a total hunk and like I'm too good for you," and they're like, "Boy, look at you, you're fat," and it's like they don't even know. They don't even know that a beard goat is actually a hunk.
Hey, so true. Hey, he got me too. So
It's
you know
real.
what? Props on him. Let's see.
Sam
Bro,
said in
come
chat, he's like,
on, man.
I'm so sick of being single. Dude, we gotta read it in a whiny voice because that's how this right. It's like the nasally, I'm so sick of being single. It's like if you're a
All
man,
right,
don't
bro.
whine.
Whining about it on freaking r/Catholic dating is really gonna take you far. All right,
Dude,
I'm sorry for the rant, but I just feel like I need to get this out. I'm a 24-year-old guy, and I've been single for 5 years now. I have a good life with a great family and friends, and I'm genuinely happy in life. I'm just so sick of being single and want to find a woman who I could share an amazing marriage and family with. I'm feeling convinced to write this because I had a couple date with a girl and things fell through. This was a friend of a friend that I have liked for a while. All right, man, work on your grammar first and foremost, man. She was exactly my type in terms of values and looks. She was gorgeous, very sweet and kind-hearted, and most importantly, she was very loyal and modest. We went on a few good dates with each other where things went well, but there was no spark/click for either of us. We had a lot of fun, but from the beginning, things felt very platonic and friendly. We stopped talking a few weeks ago, and I honestly felt fine at first. It didn't feel good, but due to the overly friendly nature of the dates, I guess it just didn't hit me at first. Over the last few days, it's caught up to me in a way, in the sense of she was completely my type in looks, values, and personality, but we just didn't click. Like, why couldn't it work out? I've been praying to meet the right woman, and it finally felt like I had. I know I have to trust God, and I do, but I just feel really down right now. I'm happy in life, but I think back to how good I felt in my last relationship and yearn for just how happy I was. I know I'm 24 and I'm still young, but having this happen and then seeing some of my best friends in long-term relationships and even getting engaged just makes me feel lonely sometimes. I'm truly happy for them, but I just pray that can be me. All right, dude. Go to get some spiritual direction, man.
bro, someone put Orthodoxy is cool, put an N-word in chat or an N-word tower in chat, and then Vincent in between the N-word towers said, Pinesap, take your shirt off, baby girl.
Dude, what is that? All I'm gonna say, man,
What is
is
going on?
all right, dude, like get over yourself and get into spiritual direction, man. This is not healthy. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, yeah,
Bro's
this guy
definitely
needs to get
baiting
a
us.
spiritual director. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, dude, I mean, a guy like this, like his post answers his problem. He's whiny. Like he's like, why can't I get a girlfriend? Why is it always against me? It's like I almost guarantee this. Like, dude's probably got like the jam jar glasses, a bad haircut, thinks fedoras are like unironically cool, and like wears a suit. I hate when like trad guys do this, where they have like the cross like peeking out like that, and it's like over their collar and then hanging and like dangling down like that. That does not look cool. You look like a fucking chud, bro. Like, try to like get a little bit of a tan, get in the gym a little bit, like stop whining about everything and feeling sorry for yourself. And I almost guarantee you will get a girlfriend eventually.
Yeah, that hurt, man. I'm like, dude, like you do not have to whine this hard and on in public too. Crazy.
That's just insane. Well, and two, if you're like whining to the internet, your life is in a really low place. I'm gonna be real. Like even Mossad, like Mossad Netanyahu holding me over a Shark Tank of Catholic e-girls ready to tear me apart with hair dryers could not get this kind of information out of me.
And my thing is just like okay, if he's ranting like this on the internet, I'm just like, yeah, I can see why the dates didn't work out, buddy. I'm just gonna say.
I agree. I agree. It's not going to work out because it's like indicative of like a deeper attitude problem, right? Like I don't know, people who feel like they need to like telegraph their life story to the internet like this, it's like you probably are already like oversharing on the first date, or you're in such a bad spot that you just think that like everything else in the world is like set against you and you're this like perfect peach, right? Like girls should just be falling at your feet. It's like if you're already thinking that way, you've lost.
So true. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Vro is just lost in the sauce, lost in the whiny sauce. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's lost in the sauce. Like, dude, he needs a little bit of cheese with that wine.
So
Preferably
true.
cheddar.
Alrighty. You want to keep this going for maybe like 10 more minutes and then we can close out?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Alrighty then. Just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Let's see. What else do we got here? Oh man, this one. Oh man, why is it always a yap fest? Okay. Let's see, what else do we got?
Dude, well, I mean, it's always a yap fest because think about who's unironically posting to r/.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I mean?
Okay. Oh, this one is an intro. You know, we have to have the RIZZ master. So, Sap, what's your take on approaching someone you see at mass? What's your take on this?
I think like if you do a coffee hour after or whatever, that's totally, I mean, not literally during the liturgy. That's just completely inappropriate. You're there for God, not women, bro, or vice versa. But yeah, at like coffee hour or whatever, I think that's totally fine. I mean, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I started going to this new parish and I saw this like tall redhead girl that was veiling, and I was like, I gotta get part of. I'm like, I gotta get in this young adults group. Like, I gotta start running.
He said, "Yo, have you heard about me? I've debated Orthodox Luigi on the papacy. You know, I'm that guy."
Hey, do you know me? I'm the guy who went on Jubilee.
Yo, yo, so true. That's the opener too. And
that's
she's
real.
Like, "Oh, that's awesome. You know, she's the one."
She's like, "That's awesome. When are we getting married and having our 5 kids?" And I'm like, "Right now, baby."
Yo, so true. Yo, just take this ring pop real quick before I cop the ring.
Dude, that's so real. I'm gonna just like, I'm gonna go up with like a half finished ring pop. I'm like, sorry, it like melted in the car and I had to lick around it, but like, you're a girl. This is a promise to you from me. Okay, that's special.
So
careful. It's holding my heart.
Yeah, I wonder if you could use like a Marian consecration ring as a wedding band.
Maybe you could.
Yeah, I'd be curious on that. I'd have to look into that.
Yeah,
because obviously you have the wedding band and the engagement ring. Obviously, for the guy, you just have the wedding band.
I could totally see that. That would be a really good, I think, question of note. I wouldn't know like the exact, I don't know, the exact like position on that, but like I think it should be fine.
Yeah, interesting.
I feel like it kind of sanctifies your marriage a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, maybe I wear a Marian consecration ring. That's why I thought about that.
Dude, heck yeah.
Let's see. Okay. This will be the last one I read, and then we can close out here. Is it inappropriate to approach someone you like at Mass? I'm a 28-year-old female, and I've been going to Mass every Sunday for about 2 months now because I finally found a parish where I genuinely love the liturgy. There's a guy there who has caught my attention. He looks to be around my age, and I'm wondering if I should try talking to him. The thing is, I have basically zero dating experience. The only relationship I've ever had was a little high school romance where we only kissed a few times. So I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. For the first month, I don't think he even noticed I existed, but last Sunday I happened to sit a few rows in front of him, and as everyone was leaving, he looked at me pretty intently from head to toe. I was wearing a long dress that was completely modest and appropriate for church, so I don't think it was anything inappropriate. Still, I have no idea if I'm reading too much into it or if it could actually mean something. Either way, I have no clue how to start a conversation with him. Is it considered inappropriate to approach someone at church after Mass? I definitely wouldn't interrupt someone who was praying, but would it be weird to introduce myself afterwards? I'm also incredibly shy, so I honestly wouldn't even know what to say. I feel like, okay, if the guy is checking you out, probably shouldn't have to approach him. I don't know. I feel like if you just like run into him into a coffee hour and just, I don't know, force the social interaction, if he's interested, he should make a move. Like that's probably what I would advise.
That's real. I don't know. I kind of like, this is a hot take. Ventcath is going to disagree with this, but like I do kind of like when women approach you. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of like, I don't know. That means like she wants definitely wants to be with you. You know what I mean? Like she's not just like eyeing you up. It's like she almost is like, I definitely need that guy.
Yeah, it's so over. So true.
Real. Wait, did you say that's so over and then that's so true?
Yeah. So over and it's so true.
It can be over and true at the same time. You're like, dude, that's over. But it's true though. But like it unironically is, because it's like it's one of those things where like if she approaches you, it means that means she's like really interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is, I mean, sure. You know, I don't know. I kind of am like, oh, you know, the traditional wholesome chungus from the Hallmark movie. You know, you got to be the guy who makes the move. But you know, I don't know. I guess we can agree to disagree, Sap. You know, you can't agree with everybody on everything.
Dude, all I'm saying is bro does not want his tomboy mommy GF that's gonna approach him after mass. I mean, couldn't be
Well,
me.
I'm taken, so you know what?
Well, that's true. That's true. You are taken, but I'm gonna be holding out. That's all I'm gonna say.
Tomboy mommy GF approaching me after mass. Hey, let me know how that works out for you, though. Let me know. We need the Sap success story. That would be a crazy stream, Pinesap stream. I just got my mommy GF hipster girl.
I just got my mommy GF, a love story.
Yo, that would, hey, you know, that would get crazy views though.
No, dude, that'd be crazy. That'd be so different. I gotta start like, and then I gotta get like a really ill-fitted like suit jacket and like an open like dress shirt. And I gotta start speaking with almost like a Romanian accent and be like, this is how you bag women. If you pay for my 70 set course, you too will get a girlfriend.
Yo, premarital cuddling is okay under Pinesap as long as she's got hair on her armpits. It's no skin to skin contact.
Real.
So
just
true.
Creates a barrier separation, bro.
Yo, real. Well, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. So I have the link to Pinesap's channel in the description. Follow my boy on Twitter. I mean, granted, Sap has like, what do you have, like 30 some K Twitter followers? So I can't imagine anybody here isn't following you on Twitter. But yeah.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, dude, it's always a pleasure to have you on, dude. You're always a great guy to talk to.
Dude, I always have a good time talking with you too. I feel like we like really like cut it up. It's almost like a good cop, bad cop thing. Like I bring some of the, like the crazy energy, and you're like, he ain't worth it. Kana, he ain't worth it. Don't beat his face in it. I'm like, let me at him, you know?
Yeah, so true. You know, like I said, I try to let people know, guys, I'm not a Wagner knockoff. I know I've gotten the accusation a couple times. Yeah, hey, he even quote tweeted me the other week trying to dunk on me. So if anything, you know, I have vindicated that I'm not a Wagner knockoff, guys.
You're your own man, bro.
So
you're your own man. That's why we love you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Remember, subscribe to Sap's channel. Follow Feels Guy on Twitter. And as always, God bless.